What's up, guys? It is Jonathan with One Big Impact. So obviously this is going to be a DIY squat rack video, and now obviously that is a hell of a lot more prevalent because of the recent events. I do want to throw a little shout out to my son. My son Isaiah Boo passed away recently, and I want to say that fitness and my kids have really helped me stay drug-free and really focus on, trying to be the best version I can. So whatever reason you are doing fitness, hold on to that reason. And just remember your children are watching, and I still believe that even though whatever happened, Boo's still watching out there. So rest in peace to my son. The video that I originally made, is the same squat rack, okay? This is the squat rack, and this is the squat rack 3 years later. That squat rack has literally sat outside in the elements through Arizona sun, the rain, the monsoons, the dirt, partying, thrown on the ground, dragged across, and now it is in my new apartment because of the freaking problems that are going on. So I just wanted to give you a quick update. The biggest question I get, by the way, I'll link up the video on me cutting the wood and everything, the original video below. And then maybe in this video at the end, me and one of my clients, because I'm a personal trainer now, me and one of my clients are training for powerlifting meet. Actually, two of my clients, but one of them will be here lifting tomorrow. So maybe we'll do that at the end. And she's pretty tough for her size. So I'll do some squats and kind of show you how it works. The biggest question I get is, how much weight will it hold? Well, you see on there, I don't know what the exact weight is on there, but with the bar, I think it's about close to like 350, 400, something like that. Maybe not even that. You got 35 times 6, and then we got 50, 60, 70, plus 45, I don't know, 300, 400, something like that. It's not a big deal. I do have more plates and smaller plates and stuff that I can put on there. I may have to add to it tomorrow. Here's the thing. I almost find it funny or silly when people ask me, will it hold this much weight? Will it hold this much weight? So there's two main factors when you're thinking about this. First of all, wood is extremely, extremely strong at the ends, okay? You're not putting wood, like the squat rack is not faced this way and you're resting it on the long elongated part of the wood. That's just not how it's built. It's built to where it's holding on the end of a 2x4. It's virtually impossible to break it at that point. The only thing that you would ever have to worry about is just make sure your nails or your screws are secure to sandwich this together. But other than that, like, you don't have any way that it could come off. Like, you could put probably, I would say, 800, 1,000 pounds on it with no problems whatsoever. The only problem that you would ever have to worry about is if you're lifting alone, you have to make sure that somebody's with you, or if you're lifting it, the only problem I would ever have is if that you were lifting alone. And the reason being is when you picked it up, when you came under, you got it up and you stepped out. When you went back in, if you unbalanced these and they started to sway, and I'm not going to pull them on because I have them settling actually, and I'll talk more about that in a minute, meaning because of the carpet. The carpet's uneven, so I have some shims under it to make it sit really still. But you won't need that. The only reason I needed that is because the buckets, and I tore the buckets off basically because they were sitting out in the rain and I didn't want that stuff inside my apartment. So I pulled them off, and then, the concrete was at different shapes or whatever, so I shimmed it up with rocks. That won't be necessary if it's new. As long as you don't let it sit outside, it's not going to get any of that in there. but meaning this swaying back and forth would be the only problem. You can make a bigger base. You can make as big as base as you want. I use 5-gallon buckets at the bottom. You can see, hopefully, if you can't see, those are the shape of 5-gallon buckets. They're not anymore. They're just big concrete blocks. That's what it sits on. Okay? So understanding that, that's what you're going to sit it in. I'm going to give you measurements and stuff in a second. I'm just trying to cover all the answers that people are constantly asking. If you want to see how it's built and stuff and the measurement chart and everything like that, go to the other one. Although I will talk about this in a second. I will say I'll link up some bars, some plates, and some belts, because I recommend, and maybe some squat shoes in the link in the description below. When you guys buy those things through my links, it helps me immensely. So please remember that. That is a big, big deal. It's only a couple bucks here and there, but it really makes a difference for YouTubers out there like myself and other ones. So that being said, okay, so sorry, damn video ended. Oh, I want to show you something really quick. I don't know if I was super clear in the last video, because it says how to build a DIY squat rack, but it's also a bench press. And all you got to do is slide a bench in, because I have a slot here for the bench. And you may need to change your measurements for your body. Now, the reason I'm going to explain that is because I'm a personal trainer, and something I tell people all the time is when you walk up to the bar, if you're going to be squatting, you're going to want the bar at about mid-shoulder. So right about the halfway through your deltoid or whatever. And different people will tell you different things, but I just tend to usually see that everybody squats from a good position while doing that, okay? So this middle measurement, I'm going to start from the back to the front. The middle measurement, the second measurement, will be a measurement that will be mid-height on your shoulder. So keep that in mind. That'll be a really good tip, I promise. The bench, I don't think it's such a big deal, but if you're super small person, maybe the second to last measurement you would drop down. I don't think that you would necessarily have to drop up, or you could just make your bench to accommodate. Remember, this is like backyard gym stuff, but obviously, as you can see, 3 years later, it's still going strong. Now it's in my apartment, and it's still going to be used, and it works perfectly fine. That's the cool thing about building your own stuff. It doesn't close down like the rest of the gyms on the planet. All right, so measurements, you guys. Measurements really quick. I got my phone filling up. Now, obviously, you're going to need about 3 bags of concrete and some like Home Depot buckets. No big deal, right? That's easy enough. You're going to measure these out. First one's coming in at 69 inches. And it doesn't need to be that high. You could even go lower, because reality is you could go like 64 if you need to. Because it's not a big deal. You're not going to be able to go over much, if that makes sense. Like, as long as you're not falling out the other side, you're going to be okay. The next measurement, and this is from the ground up. Next measurement, we're going to do about 54.5. Okay? And remember, if you need to go down because you have a super tiny shoulder, that can be an issue. And I got some questions about that recently. Although you could always... Third measurement, from the back to the front, 59. First bench measurement, where the bench bar is racked, 39. Last one that holds the bench bar in, 41 inches. All you're going to do is double those measurements. Do 2 of them for 2 sides. I have an individual, and I'll shout him out. What is his name? Hold on. Crap. 1 second. Okay, anyway, I can't find it, but he totally shouted me out, and it was really cool. He made his, and then he put it in a video below. I'll try to link it up. You can check his video out too. For some reason, YouTube's doing some weird thing with the algorithm. They're deleting the comments and moving them down on the list. I don't know what the hell's going on. If you guys have any other questions, please feel free to ask. Please check us out on Facebook. Our group is called Healthy Living for a Healthy Life. And please, on One Big Impact on YouTube or on Instagram. I'm sorry, I got a lot of stuff going on. Be strong in your excuses. Remember to spread love, not hate. Drink your damn water and stay on track. Bye. It's difficult with no shoes on. Just stay there. Don't do anything until I need it.
Okay.
You're gonna be on YouTube, just so you know. 2 more, right?
5.
That's 5?